People assume that after 21 years living here in Spain that I don't think about Britain much anymore. Well, that's not true. And in today's video, I'm going to give you my list of all the things that I miss and the reasons for it. So the first thing that I miss, and some of you are going to laugh at this, and that is London's public transport network. And the reason I miss it is the sheer reliability of it. You can just turn up and go wherever you want to be with no real planning needed. Whether it's the overground, the underground, the DLR, buses, trams, cabs, whatever it may be, there's always an option available to you. Now, what is strange, when I used to live in London as an example, I would at times certainly take the public transport options for granted and at times even moan about it when there may be an unexpected delay or say a strike. But by sheer contrast, where I live now, here in rural Andalusia, in a tiny village, I'm 100% car dependent. And it's at times like this when you realise just how good London's public transport network is. The second thing that I miss a lot, and again, you don't appreciate it until you've had so many years away from it, and that is the Great British Boozer, or the Great British Pub, if you like. And I'm not just talking about the drink, I'm talking about the whole atmosphere, the culture, the people chatting all together, the quiz nights, the bands that play in there, and even the smell. Now, don't get me wrong, Spanish bars are great and I love them, but they are certainly different. You don't have that music playing in the background. You don't have that same smell. I kind of think of more Spanish bars are more like, they're more sort of about tapas and food socialisation and less about that whole pub culture specifically. And this next one makes my mouth water just thinking about it. And that's the sheer variety of cuisine options available in Britain. Now, Britain's got this incredible density and diversity of cuisines that are available on your doorstep. Now, whether it's traditional British fish and chips or a Sunday carvery, or whether you want Indian food, Chinese food, Caribbean food, Vietnamese food, Thai food, Ethiopian food, Korean food, Italian food, Mexican food, I don't know, the list goes on, Turkish food. All of these different options I used to have on my doorstep before. Whereas by contrast, here in Spain, don't get me wrong, we've got phenomenal food, but it's Spanish food. That multicultural variety simply doesn't exist here in Spain. And for that reason, it's something that I miss so much. And that's why it's made it to this list. The next thing that I really miss about the UK is Christmas in the UK. Christmases here in Spain just hit differently. I think it's because you could be sunbathing outside during the day, whereas back in the UK, or for example in New York, I went there at Christmas time last year. It just feels like Christmas. It's cold, there's snow on the ground sometimes. People have got all those nice warm jumpers on, and I don't know, Christmas in the UK just hits different. And that's something that in 20 odd years that I've lived in Spain, you simply can't replicate that real Christmassy feeling. So that's why that's made it to this list. The fifth thing that I really miss about the UK, and that is how cheap cars are in comparison to here in Spain. Now, here in Spain, I find myself basically buying new vehicles because I think that way the price is more similar to the UK. But if you want to buy a second-hand car, they want an arm and a leg. I mean, they genuinely do. So I'm going to put a couple of cars on the screen. Now, one is from the Auto Trader in the UK, and one is from coches.net, which is like the Spanish version of Auto Trader. Look, same car, same year, same mileage, and look at the price differences. So you can see what I'm talking about. And this isn't just this particular car. This applies to pretty much every second-hand vehicle in Spain. Now, I think this is a cultural difference because in the UK, we have this culture of wanting to have the newest number plate on the car. So we find ourselves changing our cars typically every 12 to 36 months. Whereas here in Spain, cars are looked at as more of an asset, and the Spanish will keep a car 10, 15, 20 years. They'll just drive it into the ground. And for that reason, there isn't the same amount of cars, used cars available on the market, and that keeps the price up. But anyway, without rambling on about that too much, that's something that I strongly miss about the UK. The next thing that I miss about the UK is the entrepreneurship. Now, in the UK, we've got this sort of start-up culture. We've got easier access to funding. We've got a more risk sort of tolerant business mentality, I suppose. Whereas here in Spain, entrepreneurship simply isn't something that's encouraged. This government bureaucracy, the cost to try and set something up, put many a would-be entrepreneur off. Now, if you've watched this video, you'll know that I've tried multiple times over the years in Spain to set up businesses, and it's not easy. So the entrepreneurship that we see in the UK is something that we don't see here, and I really miss that. Okay, the next one is going to get me into trouble with both my Spanish friends and my Spanish viewers, but I really miss good driving. Now, in the UK, we have lane discipline, we use indicators, we've got roundabout etiquette, and I think we've got some of the highest driving standards throughout Europe, along with the Dutch and the Germans. Whereas Spain, I've been here 21 years and I can just not get used to the driving culture here. All of those things I just mentioned, lane discipline, indication, roundabout etiquette, just don't exist. Now, to prove this point, I'm going to set a challenge. If you come to Spain, if you're a UK viewer, German viewer, whatever you may be, non-Spanish viewer, next time you come to Spain, I want you to look at 50 cars when you're walking around a local town. And out of those 50 cars, find me 10, just 10, that aren't damaged. They don't have no scrapes, no dents, no accident damage. Now, if you're a Spanish viewer, next time you're in the UK, the Netherlands, or say Germany, do the opposite. I want you to look at 50 cars and find me 10 that are damaged, that have accidents damage, scrapes or dents, and I'm pretty sure you won't find it. Anyway, this is something that after my 21 years here, I really miss about the UK, and that's the good driving culture. Okay, the next thing that I miss about the UK, and that is the sheer volume of music concerts that are available to go and see day after day in the UK. Bigger acts, more venues, easier access to tickets. Whereas here in Spain, we get the odd few big acts pass through, but they're normally 5 or 6 hours away in Madrid, or 10 hours away if you're driving there to Barcelona, or you got to catch flights to both places. Whereas back home, the amount of music concerts that are available is phenomenal. I used to live like a 2-minute bus ride from the O2 at Greenwich. You could go and watch someone different every single day of the week if you want. Whereas here, that's something that isn't readily available. And for that reason, I really miss it. The last thing that I really miss about the UK is the fashion, the clothing culture, if you like. Here in Spain, for most of the year, certainly many months of the year, it's too hot to wear much more than a pair of flip-flop shorts and a vest or t-shirt. Whereas in the UK, because we have the seasons, you're able to dress up or dress down however you want. And that's something that I really miss about the UK. So that's a few of the things that I still miss about Britain. But I want to be clear. Missing these things doesn't mean that I don't love my life here in Spain. Of course I love it here in Spain. I've lived here for 21 years. But there's another side to this list. The things that I absolutely do not miss at all about the UK. And that video is coming soon, so stay tuned. Meanwhile, if you've enjoyed today's video, please remember to give it a like. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. It's absolutely free to do. It doesn't cost a penny. Anyway, enjoy whatever you're doing for the rest of the day, and I'll catch you in the next one.